The intended use of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests independently, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Updog Challenge Incorporated, its sponsors, or any other partnered organizations. Updog Challenge Incorporated does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed. In no way should the information provided during the Sweet Spot and Updog podcast be considered veterinary, medical, legal, or professional advice. At all times, the advice of your personal professional should supersede any information provided, derived, or inferred from listening to this podcast.
Ready, set, go.
Welcome to the Sweet Spot, an Updog podcast. I'm Andrea Morissette.
And I am Jack Bailey, and we are your hosts today, and we have a special guest with a special topic. Dre, who's our special guest?
We have Jess as our special guest. Everybody knows Jess Kittredge Nguyen from all of the amazing admin stuff she does for our events and as one of the leaders of the Minnesota Club. But today, we don't have her here for any of those reasons. We have her here because she lives somewhere really cold. And our topic today is how to prepare for winter as a dog sport enthusiast and disc dogger. So as I came up with this idea this year, I realized that I just moved to Tennessee from Texas, and the coldest place I've ever lived is St. Louis, which is still pretty Midwest, and Jack and Kat live in Florida. So I thought it might behoove us as people that live in the South to contact one of our friends that lives in the Great White North, because I'm sure there's things that we don't even think about that aren't even on our radar that are normal things for you guys. And we have listeners to our podcast and brand new updoggers that have not had a season yet of being a disc dogger or a dog sport enthusiast. And so they might not know how to best prepare themselves for the winter. So Jess, thank you for braving your winter cold recovery and joining us on the podcast today. We'll try not to wear out your voice too much, but thanks for joining us and informing us a little bit about how you guys prepare for the winter.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
This is going to be very informative for me because like Trey said, our club has T-shirts that says disc dogging 365 days a year. So we definitely don't stop in the winter. If we ever stop, it's actually in the summer when it gets really hot and the dogs don't want to go outside. So anyway, this will be a really cool learning experience for me as well.
Yeah. And it's funny, we had talked about this topic before, but yesterday, so Jack and I are going up to teach our combo seminar in Pennsylvania this weekend. And I asked Emily if she had an extra Aurora plug, because when I was up there, remember my jacket didn't last all day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
an extra charger, a pack. And she's like, of course I have an extra pack. And Jack's like, you have a vest? And I'm like, bro, you got to get on it. Like he didn't. So they ordered vests yesterday. They got little hand heaters coming.
Nice.
So I was like, this is perfect time for us to have our podcast. So I want to kick it off with you, Jess. I mean, we know who you are. We know about your dogs. We know you're in the Minnesota Club. You've been on the podcast before. What we haven't talked about is your vast knowledge of how to keep your dogs happy, healthy, enriched in the wintertime, because you guys are going all winter. While my dogs are being potatoes in the winter and I don't want to go outside, you are like running, playing, actively participating in outdoor stuff all winter long, and you have to have great gear for that. So how do you prepare for the winter? Like, what are you doing now that it's November and it's going to get colder? What are you doing now to prepare for what's coming up in the winter?
Right. So right now it's unpack all my boxes. So we have all of our winter gear for both humans and dogs, depending on what it is that we're headed out to do. But you know, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, we do spend most of the winter outside.
That's surprising.
It's easy to stay inside for a little bit, but you get cooped up. So we have all kinds of fun things that we can do outside to prepare for that. We've got different gear depending on what it is that we're headed out to do. But right now, we're kind of in that weird phase where it can be nice outside or it could be like 30 outside. So just being outside right now is important so the dogs can start acclimating to as it gets colder. Today is weirdly a nice day, but as it gets colder, it's good to be outside consistently and regularly so that we don't just go outside and suddenly it's 10 degrees.
What's one of, like, you're talking about this gear that's in these boxes, like
we don't know what that is.
Give me, like, what's your favorite gear? What's like your most essential gear that you have in that box?
Wool layers. So for the top torso, legs, your socks. Wool as layers is the best for me. That's my favorite. And layers just because the more you start moving outside, the more you want to shed, and you don't want to have just two things on. Then you take one off, you're too cold. So,
Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold,
exactly,
hot, cold.
exactly. Yep, wool layers are my most favorite, most valuable thing in that box.
Cool.
So you don't need them during the year, so you just pack them away and then you bring them out in the winter.
Yep.
I need to learn to do that. My stuff is all out, and no wonder I don't have any closet space. This is what I'm missing. I need to put half my stuff. I could put my tank tops away, Jack. That's what she said. I could put my tank tops away.
Well, that could be an important layer. You don't know. Could be.
So when you're like doing training stuff, Jess, you talked about wanting to get outside quite a bit and you don't want to be cooped up, right? So talk to us a little bit about like, is there indoor training versus outdoor training, or like, is there anything that you can do indoors? I don't know.
When it's negative 30 outside?
Yeah, I actually usually like if we are going to be outside or inside at about 0 degrees, that's usually where I say, yeah, we're going to stay inside. Just because it's harder, I think, for myself and the dogs to breathe outside when it's that cold. So
Did you say at 60 degrees is when you make that decision?
0. Because it's
Remember
hard
she
to
said wool layers, right, Jack? Wool layers.
yes.
Right. That's for the 60-degree weather. But go ahead.
That's t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
No wool needed. But yeah, like at 0 degrees, that's I don't really want my dogs going into like that really heavy cardio when it's that cold outside. I don't want to either. And I try to be active with them. So we do a lot inside and disc wise, this is the winter is the season where I work on precision. So that's where we're training inside, and I'm working freestyle specifically, working on precision. I usually try to keep a mental list of handoffs that I want to work on, dog catches that I want to work on. It's all that small, like intricate, up close stuff. I can work that inside. I don't have at home. I don't have a training I have the basement living room is my dog room, and that's where we train. So it's not a lot of space, but it's enough to work on those more precise things, really get their brains going versus their bodies in that case.
Yeah, and the outside stuff at that point, would it be like they just go outside? I mean, when I was up there in the Minnesota cold, like the real cold, it was the negative 47 feels like day, and they literally go out and tip over. Like they tip over like cow. Because their feet, they didn't know what to do. So they just like their feet froze right away and the dogs just tipped over. So like, that's pretty cold. But if you do any outdoor stuff, like if it's around 0, would it just be like hiking? Because with disc stuff, I would think that you'd be in the risk of like ice or cutting their paw pads, or is it because you guys have such a good snowpack that you can run the dogs in the wintertime? Because in St. Louis, you couldn't do that. You couldn't run them in the winter.
It depends. And I am a person that errs on the side of caution. I generally don't do a lot of outdoor disc. It just depends on the footing. What does the ground feel like? Do we have a lot of snow cover? If we don't, that ground is solid as cement. It's frozen. So we're not going to be jumping out there. When you have a couple warm days and then it gets cold, a lot of people don't realize that you get ice underneath the snowpack, which is very slippery. So I don't want that. But there are perfect, like they just fresh snow and it's the right temperature where we could maybe get out a day or two, but I try not to rely on that as my form of exercise for them. So we, like you said, we do a ton of winter hiking, but I also do a lot of dog sledding in the winter. So we do a lot of dog sledding.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is on groomed packed trails. So the surface is really nice for them to run on. There's not a lot of sharp turns. It's just nice big oval loops, maybe a right turn or a left turn. But in general, that is our primary form of like that cardio, run hard, work on the endurance kind of thing we do in the winter.
Yeah. How do other people have access to that though? Like, is that something where it's like a business that has groomed trails, or do people have to cut their own trails? Like, did you develop that with friends over years? Is it at like a public park? Is it at someone's private property? How do our listeners do that? If they're like, now I have a high drive border collie that I've spent all year building drive and muscle and I want to maintain it over the winter, and that sounds great. How do they get started in like something like the sledding and joring? I know nothing about that.
Yeah. So there's a couple different ways that you can, one, have your dog pull you. You can do it on skis, skijoring. You can do it on a sled, which is just sledding. You can also do it on a fat bike. So fat bikes are those bikes with those giant tires,
Yeah.
and they kind of float on the snow. So fat bike joring is another option for very, very snowy conditions. You cannot ride a normal bike on snow, even if it's a packed trail. Don't do it.
Disclaimer. Do not ride the bike on snow.
No, you're gonna have a bad time. But like locally around here, just because we are in Minnesota and everybody, this is our form of everybody's exercise. People are out doing cross country skiing, that sort of thing. The local county parks just groom trails. So we
Cool.
like, luckily for us, we actually have a dog sled only trail about 20 minutes from my house. So it's
super
only for
cool.
skijoring, it's only for dogs. So if your dog is pulling you, you can be on that trail. So that's really, I mean, I'm very lucky for us. But there's a lot of shared trails. I mean, I could go to any park. It's groomed. As long as you don't destroy the cross country ski marks that they groom, people don't like that. Don't go on the cross country skier side. Otherwise, you're good.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's a really nice crossover sport that I see you guys doing a lot.
Yes. Yep. It's really good for keeping them sort of physically fit as we move into the spring. UpDiff is always in the spring. So I want to make sure that even if we haven't been, necessarily doing our full freestyle routines, physically they are ready and able and capable of performing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to risk injury because they're not quite
Right.
at peak.
Coming back in the
physical
spring and
condition.
just throwing them right in it, they can strain
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you do any like treadmill stuff? Do you have a treadmill that they run on or anything?
We do at work. My treadmill's actually at work right now, so that the client dogs can use it. But yeah, we have done a lot of treadmill stuff. Since I moved, I don't use the treadmill at home personally, which is why I got moved to work. But treadmill is a really good option to make sure that their bodies are still moving, working on some of that more longer endurance, that sort of thing.
So if you're like me and you don't like being cold for long periods of time, even though there are wool layers and you don't want your face to be frozen from stuff blowing in it, then maybe you can treadmill in your basement. I'm a big advocate for that winter training space too, small indoor spaces,
Mhm.
working on cool handoffs, inside tricks, dog catches, stalls. Um, uh, Team movement is another one of my favorite things to work on over the winter time. You and your dog dancing together in certain patterns, perfect for small spaces. You don't need like high impact foam for that. You could do it on carpet in your living room.
Mhm.
So those are really good lists of things to kind of keep your dog's body and their brain engaged, but also that's pretty physical stuff. They need explosive energy to be able to do that, and they need to be able to use their brain at the same time. I
Yeah.
kind of, when you were sharing it, I was thinking about it in fitness terms. Like in the winter, a lot of people bulk and then they lean out in
Mhm.
the spring. So you just over the winter you're eating a lot of more rich protein foods, right? And so you pack on more weight, more muscle, more fat, and you kind of build up your strength over the winter, like a bear would hibernate,
Yeah.
right? And then you come back in the spring and you use all that energy. So that makes
Yeah.
sense for the dogs too. We'd be doing a little bit less outdoor stuff, a little bit more indoor shaping, developing. That's cool.
Do you change their diet at all, Jess? Now that Dre was just kind of mentioning that, it just made me wonder, like, do they get fed more or less or different?
Usually my dogs stay about the same. If I notice they're getting a little chunky, we'll slim down a little bit, but there's no sort of prescribed like, oh, it's December, time to change it. I just go based off how they're looking. And our winter kind of dictates that a lot too. Like we've had 2 mild winters in a row where we were outside all the time. And so moving just as much as we would be moving in the summer.
And in summer,
But when
yeah.
yeah, but when we have those like Arctic ones where it's feels like is -60 for 8 days in a row or whatever,
Treadmill
maybe
in the basement.
yeah, we might have a
For
little food
everyone.
adjustment. Yep.
You
Yep.
do burpees while the dog gets on the treadmill. It sounds
Yeah,
like a good
exactly.
outside cardio plan.
Exactly.
What about gear? Like, do you switch your discs up in the wintertime? I know there are some discs that handle cold weather differently. Do you feel like you need to soften up your discs, or is there any gear that somebody maybe that's new to dog sports would want to order in preparation for the winter? Stuff that you would like definitely want to have in your disc bag?
So my approach to gear, maybe it's a little different than I think maybe that you see sort of online and in groups and things like that. But I generally for the dogs like bodies, I try to go gearless as much as I can. So I try not to use like booties unless I use booties only if there's going to be snow clumping in the little like crunchy
Yeah.
hairs between their paws. Otherwise, I want them to build up that paw tolerance to being outside. So we do use a little bit of Musher Secret just to, I want to make sure that I'm still
chapped or burned. Yep.
Yes. Yep. But I also feel like if you're going to be asking your dog to maybe chase a disc outside with booties on, they lose their ability to use their toes when they're in a boot. So I try not to use booties outside. I will put on jackets before and after we play because as we warm them up before we take the field, so to speak, I want their bodies to be nice and warm. When they're out there, they're keeping themselves warm while they're running. They are very good about that. And when we're done, I put the jacket right back on so I can kind of keep them from going from very active to suddenly not active and losing that. So I put the jacket back on after we play. So if they're going to be in that sort of higher cardio state, I don't want them to have a jacket on. I want them to be able to just regulate themselves as they're running.
Yeah. Is any winter jacket fine, like the cute decorative ones, or you're like, those aren't worth it, you should stick to like back on track?
You definitely need the bling ones, otherwise they just don't work, right?
Well, we can bedazzle anything, Jack. I'm just talking about technology. So like, is it like a waste to just get like a pretty fluffy jacket? Or is it like, are the ones that are made for like outdoor hiking dogs seriously like that much more valuable? Like if it's somebody's first year buying gear for their dogs and they want to make sure maybe they have a light coated dog, a whippet mix or something, and they want to make sure they're warm, would you think that it comes down more to technology, like a back on track type of jacket? Or do you think that like anything that really keeps their body warm kind of works well?
I would say
people can make their own stuff too if they're crafty.
Yeah.
Like they can make their dog jackets.
Yeah, I would say it's a do what you can. So there are really nice jackets out there. I use Gold Paw series. So they're a brand that's local to Minnesota, so they know Minnesota. And I have like ski suits for the dogs for like really cold days, things like that. And then just regular jackets that cover their torso and those vital organs. Rough Wear also makes some nice ones. Sorry about that. But at the same time, those are kind of a bigger investment. And so if there's something that works for you that's keeping your dogs warm, I say go for it.
Cool. But thank you for the, just a couple tips, ideas of where people could shop for, a decent brand. I would have no idea. I would just go dog jackets and then I would see ones with like furry on the outside. And I wouldn't know the difference between a $20 one and a $200 one if I was shopping.
Yeah.
So I might be lost kind of in that process. So as long as they got their bodies covered and, if you want to make it at home, it's still, helpful for your dog. And if you want to buy some cool gear, maybe with a label, those are a couple of brands that are Minnesota approved.
Yes. Back on Track too is another one that you mentioned that one also, but we also have a couple of those jackets. I use those as the warm up cool down jackets because they're so easy to go on and off.
Yeah, those, and I don't even know if I'm assuming it's a jacket company. They would have warm stuff, but I've only used their sport stuff, like their injury recovery and their sport stuff. So I've never used it for cold.
Oh, they have a winter one too. They do.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's nonstop. You know what? I think it's nonstop dog wear. That is the jacket I have. They look very similar. Sorry.
Yeah. Cool. No, thank you. I apprecied that.
There's one more for
anything else in the training bag that you would swap out for winter? You have your dog coat.
Did you answer the disc question?
That's what I was saying.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Do you like even in Florida, I find that some of my discs get
hot and warped
too rigid in the cold. And when I say in the cold, I'm talking it's 40 degrees outside. I can't even imagine if it was less than that.
Yeah. I usually just keep a stack in the car. If I'm at the park in the car, I've got a stack and I'm rotating. So they're sitting on the seat warmers while I'm playing, go switch them out. So they get to warm up, stay warm. They get cold really fast. So it's a quick changeover. And if I'm at home, they're just inside and I pull from the stack. And when the stack is done, then we're done playing.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder, Jack. When I was at your house and I was looking at that disc rack you have, Josh ordered me one this week because it's getting on winter here and leaving your discs outdoor in any extreme temperature is really hard on them. So if you're going in the winter or if you're going into the summer and you have a lot of discs outside and it's 200 degrees in your garage, Jack has a bunch in his garage, but he knows how to stack his discs with extra discs inside so that it protects the shape of the disc in more extreme temperatures.
Mhm.
But in general, if you can have them in like a temperature controlled environment, it's your discs are going to last longer. You're going to have less warping of your disc, less misshapen discs, that kind of stuff. So I did get
Yeah.
that new disc rack that you showed me, Jack, and that's a good reminder, just that you keep them out of the elements in general. So if you have an extra spot in your guest room or guest closet, try and keep your discs indoors in the winter, especially when
Yep.
we get below freezing temperatures, because they you really do they do a lot of damage in the cold. And as Jack was saying, discs get harder in cold weather. So if you're playing with an extra, for example, that's already a pretty firm disc, you
Yep.
put that in the cold, and it feels like you're catching a ceramic mug. Like it's not
Yeah.
soft on the dog's mouth. So you can always consider going to a softer disc or a
Mhm.
lighter disc, or fabric discs or whatever, if you feel like in the winter when it's really, really cold, man, grab some Chuck It fabric discs and throw those to your dogs. That way, when they scoop them up, they got a whole mouthful of snow. And if you're not competing, and even if you are doing updog games, fabric discs, as long as they don't have a hole in the middle, are approved for any of our updog games. So if your discs seem like they're getting a little hard for your dog's mouth over the winter, switch to a fabric disc. As long as it's dog safe and it doesn't have a hole in the middle, it's cool for any of our updog games.
Yeah.
Now I just have
What
to
else?
get
Anything
seat
else?
warmers and I'll be prepared.
You're gonna have to strap the seat warmer to you and just like tape it around you.
Cats, I could hear Cat laughing when you said you put them on the seat warmers.
Good.
I
Anything
mean,
else in your winter training bag? Oh, what about gloves?
oh, yes. So if I'm throwing discs, I actually use mountain biking gloves. And so I can put my wool gloves over those. So when I'm not actually throwing, my fingers are warm. When it's time
Oh,
to throw, off comes the wool glove. There's my mountain biking
I have
gloves.
never ever thought of layering gloves ever.
Layers,
I'm gonna get wool
layers.
mittens. I'm gonna get wool mittens for teaching, and that way I can have my. Okay, so to answer
Yep.
you, what you do, I use riding gloves. So I
Riding.
use
Okay.
Ariat. There's like a really soft suede
Hmm.
riding glove,
Yep.
because I can feel the discs really well still. So when I
Yeah.
worked at Purina and we were working all through the winter, indoor, outdoor, anytime I went outdoor, I would use those because the leather keeps the water off of your hands long enough. You can work a couple
Yes.
dogs, you can work for 20 or
Yep.
30 minutes. It keeps them warm enough for 20 or 30 minutes, but you can still feel the disc on the outside. So I really like the Ariat riding gloves. That's what I
Mhm.
used in the winter. But again, if I was in Minnesota, that's a different kind of cold. Layering them with a wool mitten on the outside is really a
Yeah.
great idea. I hadn't thought of that. So I'm going to see if I can get some of where I go this weekend. I don't know. I leave Thursday morning. I don't know if I can get wool mittens here by tomorrow
You
morning.
could
I
probably get them in
usually
Pennsylvania at this point.
I usually use my hoodie pocket.
And you put the little hand warmer in the hoodie pocket also.
I
So
Mhm.
did order the hand warmers that you sent me. They're supposed
yeah,
to get here today, so
yeah. So that was another thing that I use, Jess, that you do more of the layering thing. I use the
Mhm.
Aurora vest, which is really nice for indoor, outdoor. You can turn it on and off. And then
Mhm.
the little electric hand warmer thing keeps your,
Yes.
but I think if you're going to bring the electric hand warmer thing and you have a whole day, you still have to bring packets. Like the hand warmer's not going to last all day.
Yep.
It's going to
And you
last
know
five
that
or 6 hours.
those little packets, you open them, you shake them in the air, they warm up. They make them for your feet too.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
put
put them
them
easy
under your
if you want
socks.
to not wear multiple pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Just the one spot under those toes gets sweaty, but the whole feet are warm. Jack is
uh,
checking off items. All he's going to be
now I
buying
know
over.
about those now. I used to backpack like in the winter in the mountains. So
Yeah,
I'm
tell me
making
about
fun of
it.
myself, but I do. My knowledge is 20 years old though, so I'm sure that there's much more improved gear these days. But I wore those toe things
Hmm.
all day in my boots because they felt so good because of the temperature. But pro tip, don't hike all day with those things in your
Oh,
socks because
Yeah.
although the heat feels good, they are like grinding your feet the entire time.
yeah.
That makes sense for hiking. Yep.
You'll have a
Yep.
dent and a bunch of blisters around it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No fun on day two. Let's just say that.
What do you think, Jess? Anything else for first timers, maybe? If you're a brand new disc dogger and this is your first winter, and you feel like you discovered this new sport and now it's all over until next summer because like the community is active and then it kind of poof disappears other than
Yeah.
online stuff and meetups and local stuff. How do people stay connected in the winter? How can they, what are some of the stuff that you do? Anything that people can kind of reach out to stay active in the winter time when it's really cold. It's different stuff they
Yeah.
can do with sport dogs.
Yeah. So, two things that I can think of off the top of my head. One is cross training. So, winter is a really good time to try other sports. So, things that go on year round inside agility, fly ball, both are very active dog sports. So, maybe joining a class just to learn, just to stay connected with your dog, learning. And I am obviously a big proponent of cross training is so important for disc.
Mm.
Um, and the other is like locally, our club will do play dates. They'll rent out a building, like a local training facility. They'll rent it out. We'll do a play date so that we can all stay connected as people in our community and then we can work together inside. So when you're inside on like a specific dog matting, it's nice. You can open up, you can actually do all of your freestyle, which, outside is maybe preventing.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I was actually thinking of signing up for an agility class here locally this winter
Yeah.
with some of the young dogs. And this is
Yeah.
because my first winter in a cold place in
Yeah.
a while, right? So that was the
Yep.
first thing I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with them all winter, but I need to
Yeah.
get them out of the house a little bit. So
Yeah.
I know if I have a class, I'll actually go. If it's just
Yeah.
like an activity, like go walking in the park when it's cold, I'm gonna be like, I don't
Yep.
feel like being cold tonight, so I'm not gonna go. So that's a
Yep.
good way of like advancing your skills. Another thing you could do is you can like work with a trainer or something over the winter towards a specific
Mhm.
goal. So like Jess,
Yep.
if you wanted to have a new trick or two for your freestyle routine for the springtime, you could work with
Mhm.
somebody like Jack over the winter time, meet every other couple weeks and kind of have homework and accountability. What I'm basically
Yes.
saying is if you put a structure in place for accountability where you have to show up for something, you're more
Yep.
likely to do it. Like this, you're paying this trainer whatever an hour to do it. If you don't do your homework, you're wasting your money, right? You're going to do your
Yep.
homework. If you signed up for an agility class and you only have 6 classes, you're going to go to your class. So maybe
Yes.
try and create some structures for cross training around things that'll get you and your dog out of the house and in other communities like agility, like you said, fly ball,
Mhm.
obedience is another really cool one. Another one
Yep.
that I don't know if people would have classes for that around, but if they could look for it, any kind of freestyle dance, you could find those online freestyle
Yes.
dance
Yep.
classes, and that
Yep.
directly ties into freestyle for handler movement and flow and that kind of stuff. So,
Oh,
those are some cool ideas.
that just reminded me of something I'm planning to do this winter. I haven't done it before. It's going to be new this winter. I'm taking a dance class.
Oh, that's
Just
fun. What
me.
kind of dance?
So the one I'm looking at is a hip hop dance class because
Oh,
I would like to um, learn how to dance and move with music for freestyle. So I
yeah.
would like to have a little bit more of those skills. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that this winter.
Oh my
So
God. I'm so excited to see clips of that on Facebook. I can't wait.
it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited.
That's awesome. Really,
Yeah.
really
So
fun. Cool.
yeah. So just as important as the dogs keep moving, humans have to keep moving too. It's
Yeah,
very easy to be a sloth in winter because it's easy to stay inside. So the more you can push yourself to be outside, the better it is for your dog and you as a teammate to
yep.
be
And
out
you
there.
guys have less and less sunlight further north you go
Yes.
also. So like less sunlight is, brings us into a lower vibration, more like it's easier to have depression. It's easier to kind of
Mhm.
not want to move your body. So getting outside,
Mhm.
moving your body in any capacity helps combat that through the winter months, especially like now
Yep.
you guys are like, winter's coming. Talk to you in February or March, right?
Yeah.
February is the month you're just like, I'm over it. I need the
Yep.
sun. You need some
That's when we're
sunshine.
ready.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jess. Thanks for being on our podcast today and sharing some
Yeah,
of your winter tips with us. Jack and I learned a lot,
absolutely.
especially Jack.
I learned I'm gonna freeze this coming weekend in Pennsylvania. That's what I
We got
learned.
all the gear. We got all the gear for you, buddy. Don't worry. You're going to be sweating in that
Pack
vest.
your layers. You got
I,
this.
I I have one piece of gear, Dre. I bought the vest. Well, two. I bought the vest and I bought the hand warmers.
Yeah, that's all you need.
And then I told Kat, I'm like, all my pants are like Florida pants. Like I don't have any like pants that have like flannel in them or
You just need you can just get long johns, right? They still call them that. Are they called long underwear, long johns? If you get the long
I don't
underwear,
know,
that's what
Dre.
it's a liner. It's a lining layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I
What
know
I
what
live in
they
St.
are,
Louis,
but
I had many of them. They were just lining pant tights and lining long sleeve shirts, and they come in
yeah.
cute colors if you want. And if dudes, you could probably get a 5 pack of white or black ones, and you wear that as your base layer, and then a long sleeve t-shirt, and then your zip up vest, and then a zip up hoodie, and then a jacket, and you'll be sweating. No question. You don't need any more gear, right? And wool socks, right,
Yep.
Jess?
Wool socks.
it sounds like you're going to be like really prepared, Dre. So every time I get cold, I'll just retreat to my van and warm up while you take
Okay, I'll
over.
handle it. Well, the good news is Chan lives up there too, so we should probably be able to like borrow some wool and stuff from him if we need it. It'll be fine.
I'm sure I'll be all right. I'm sure
It'll
it'll
be
be
fine.
fine.
We'll report back if the podcast ends after this episode. You know that it didn't go
The
well
Jack
in
froze.
Pennsylvania for Jack. He's like, I'm never doing this again. But thank you. Thank you for agreeing to do that seminar with me and to brave the cold. That is not Minnesota cold, but it's Florida cold. So thank you for doing it. And Jess, thank you for giving us
Yep.
lots of
Thank you,
good tips and
Jess.
insight over the winter.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, our teams will feel extra set up for UpDiff this year because they
Yeah.
had some crossover activities to play during the winter time. And
Yeah.
Jack and I still have some online stuff that we have planned for the winter to keep you guys active as well. So keep your ears open for some fun contests that are going to be all video online so that
Awesome.
you guys will have fun challenges and stuff to play over the winter time that you can all do indoors or in a small outdoor space or whatever. It's all going to be winter based. So
And some
keep an
cool,
eye out
like,
for that.
we're gonna do the judging meetings where we kind of just have like a topic that we get to talk about, watch some videos, and freestyle judges can come and join and enhance their learning. So it would be for judges that have already taken the course, but like just taking the course is your start of your learning. So
Right.
yeah, we'll have some exciting stuff this winter. Hopefully, things to keep your mind going as well as your body.
Yep. Keep those
Hey,
freestyle routines developing over the winter and show us some shiny new stuff in the spring.
All right. Well, we have a winter themed sort of some of the questions,
Now.
not all of them, but many of the questions kind of winter themed on our time warp challenge here for you, Jess.
All right.
So
I'm
I
ready.
know you've done this before, right? Where you get the 60 seconds and you have to answer as many questions as you can. You got 10 questions.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready. All right. Ready, set, go.
Jess, what is your favorite season?
Fall.
Would you rather go look at a holiday lights or shop Black Friday?
Holiday lights.
How many sequences make up a freestyle routine?
5.
Name a television series you found engaging.
The Good Place.
What is your favorite Updog crossover game?
7 Up.
Ooh, good one. Name 3 brands of mountain bikes. That's perfect for you guys. 30 seconds.
Mountain bikes. Live, Trek, and Salsa.
Would you rather take notes in pen, pencil, or on a laptop?
Pen.
Name a person from the disc dog community that we should have on the podcast. Good question. 15 seconds.
Oh. You had so many good guesses. This is the one that's gonna get me.
7 seconds. 5,
You should have Sarah Brewski back.
3. Okay, good. Is soup a beverage? I got so distracted.
Soup is a beverage if you are driving. Yes.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
25.
We
Oh, yeah.
we definitely ran out of time and somewhere is soup of a beverage, but I like the answer to that. And so, Jack, you can ask the last question.
All right, Jess. I just need to know. Would you rather put together a spreadsheet or play a video game?
Oh, that's mean. I want
That's
you both.
mean. I was like, that's a mean Jess question.
That's a both. That's a both. I guess right now I'm gonna say video
Game because you're in veg
Yeah.
and recovery mode. Your brain has been working
Yes.
very hard, crushing all the freestyle crown and the invitational data for us. So thank you for that again. Getting our performance sheet up and running. That was awesome. So I hope you enjoy your week of rest and recovery.
Thank
And
you.
you have a night, you don't work too hard because I know you're always running around doing a million things. Hopefully you take time for your recovery this week. And
Mhm.
I don't know if
Trying.
you're going to make it to an updog field soon, but I'm sure I'll see you online playing freestyle soon.
Yes. And you guys have fun in Pennsylvania.
Yes, and we
Thank
are going
you.
to.
Stay warm.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for all the good information, and we hope that the information that Jess has provided and Dre's got some good ideas as well thrown in there. We hope that that helps you out, helps you stay active with your pups over the winter, and so that in the spring we can see you on an updog field. And in the meantime, Dre,
Be kind to each other.
and be kind to your animals. We will see you next time on The Sweet Spot.
Up dog. What up, dog? Woo! Up dog. Ready, set, go! Yo, you heard the buzz, heard the word on the street. Up dog challenge, it can't be beat. It ain't just fetch, it's a very special game for the dogs and the people. We all shout its name, whether it's a roller or in the air. My canine companion doesn't really care. We're in the up dog zone now. Got that laser focus, making every throw an epic high flying bonus. What's up, dog? We're on the field, sun in the sky, with my best friend soaring, teaching that just to fly. It's the up dog jingle, so come get in the mix for the ultimate teamwork and all the best tricks. From throw and go to freestyle, we're bringing the heat. We're fun, helpful, and a friendly team that can't be beat. So if you love your pup and you love to see the disc really spin, come on down to Up Dog, where the good times begin.
Yeah, where the good times begin. Yeah, the Up Dog games are all different. Skillin' with grace, playing four-way play. We run all over the place, from funky to greedy. We take on the challenge, and our Up Dog team, we're solid. There's no way to mismanage. The crowd is electric, the energy's high as my dog leaps and twists to snatch that disc from the sky. It's all about fun, that's the Up Dog way, for every dog and human to brighten their day.
What's up, dog? We're on the field, sun in the sky, with my best friend soaring, teaching that just to fly. It's the Up Dog jingle, so come get in the mix for the ultimate teamwork and all the best tricks. From far out to 5-0, we're bringing the heat. From the front of the field to the back, we can't be beat. So if you love your pup and you love to see the disc really spin, come on down to Up Dog, where the good times begin.
Yeah, we're building that bond with every single toss, showing everyone that dog sports ain't no loss. From rollers to volts, we know all the moves, and my dog's got the speed that everyone approves. The judges are watching, the points start to climb. Woo! But the real prize is the teamwork and the great quality time.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
Up Dog!
Yeah, that's what's up, dog. Get your disc, get your weak spot, and let's go. Time. See you at the next Up Dog Challenge show. See you at the next Up Dog Challenge show.